Video, I'm going to continue with the creation of network load balancers, and the topic for this is how I will create a network load balancer using TCP security groups. So to proceed further, I will have to create new instances with security protocol as all TCP. I will start with launching instances. I will select the Amazon Linux 2 AMI, which provides us with the software configuration to load the applications that we want to create. In the next step, we are going to select the instance type that I want to choose for the applications that I want to load in the instance. So over here, I'm going to use the T2 micro type of instance, which is also freely available. So over here in this step, I'm going to select two instances as earlier, and the network VPC is obviously going to be default, and the IAM role has to be changed to the default IAM role. The next settings are going to be the same. In the next step, to add storage will leave it as it is, the default that we have for the type of instance. Tags, I'm choosing not to add any tags right now. In the security group, I have to make sure that I create a new security group and I change the security group to all TCP with the port range 0 to 65,535. The IP address is IPv4 and proceed further. I will review all the settings that I have given to my instances. Or we can also do one thing. We can, for giving the TCP, we can do custom TCP. Custom TCP is exactly this only. Custom TCP. Exactly. So over here, when we give the range, if I exclude, say for example, the range 80, okay, we can do this in the latter part also. I will first keep it all TCP and proceed further. Okay. I will choose the existing key pair which I already have, the key pair Archit. I will just check first which is the key pair which was last downloaded, which is key pair without the underscore. Okay. So I will choose key pair Archit. Yes, and I will launch the instance. After launching the instance, we'll wait for the instances to be up and running perfectly. These two instance 1 and instance 2 are my previous instances that I had used for earlier for the load balancers, which is application and classical load balancers. I will give them instance for say network 1. Instance for network 1. So for this instance, I will just give a name, say instance for network 1. And for the next instance, I will give instance network 2. Okay. So I have these two instances that are running, and we will have to wait for the status checks to be completely passed. Okay. Now we can see that both of the instances are now in the initializing state. We can see that both of the instances that we just created with the TCP protocol, they have the status check have both of the instances have been passed. Now what I have to do is I have to connect both of these instances to the server individually. After going to the first instance 1, I will click on the connect button, go to the SSH client and copy this example that they have given to me to process the connection of the instance to the server. So I will go to CD downloads where my file is there, the PEM file, and I will paste the command that I just copied from there. Press enter. I will grant permission yes. We can see the EC2 has been activated. I'll do sudo su next we'll do yum update y. All the packages are being updated. As I had said earlier in the earlier video also, it will take some time to be loaded. Now the next step that I have to do is I have to do yum install y of HTTPD. Once HTTPD is installed, I can do systemctl and enable. First I will have to do start HTTPD and then systemctl enable HTTPD. Now our instance, the particular instance has been connected using the key pair to the HTTP server. Now the next step that I have to do is I have to give some application to my server, to my instance. So I'll do echo. I had also written this tag earlier, if you remember, in my previous video. In the first one where I had created the classical load balancer, I will write first instance for network load balancer. I will close the H1 tag, close the quotes, and write /www/html/index.html. Okay, something not found. Oh, okay. I will just copy this. I actually wrote exclamation instead of first. So I will have to just change it. Okay, I will have to write it again. It's okay. H1. I can write first instance for network load balancer. Close the H1 tag, close the code, put another bracket, and write where www.html/index.html and press enter. So now what I've done is I have given this command to first one of my first instance. If I go to check my first, I am inside my first instance. Go to the EC2 instance connect, copy the public IP address that was assigned to this instance, paste it into the URL, and we can see that the application that I gave, the index.html that I gave over there, has been loaded over here. Now I will have to repeat the same for the second instance. I will go to the second instance, connect it, go to the SSH client, copy the SSH client, the code that is given to me. I will say exit once again, exit. Now I'm outside. I will have to paste the key with the code with the key pair and the code for my second instance. I will have to grant permission with yes. Now EC2 is active. I will do sudo su. I will do yum update y. All the packages will be updated. It takes some time for all the libraries to be updated. After that is done, in the next step, I will have to do yum install y httpd. It's updating once again. Now, once we have the httpd, I will do systemctl start httpd. I have started the httpd. In the next step, I will do systemctl enable httpd. Now we are connected to the HTTP server. What I can do is I can load the application via the index.html or whatever you want through the instance. So I will write echo start my h1 tag, say second instance for network load balancer. Close the h1 tag, close the bracket, close the quotes, put another bracket and write where www/html/index.html. Now we have put this once again. We'll go to the EC2 instance connect of the second instance, copy the public IP address, paste it in the URL, and check if we have the proper application that we had given to the second network load balancer. For the next step, I'm going to follow the same procedure as the application load balancer. Just the security protocol that has to be used, the security group has to be different from HTTPD. Over here, now I will start by creating a target group of both the instances that we have connected. Firstly, this is one of my target groups that I had created to make my earlier application load balancer. So I'm just going to delete this target group and I'm going to create a new target group. I'm going to select instances to be created. The protocol is going to be the same. Over here, I will write index.html as that is my application data. Okay. Target group for network load balancer. That's my name. We'll proceed with the default settings. We'll select both the instances and include as pending below. And create the target. We can see both the states of the instances are running. Now we'll create the target groups. Our target group has been successfully created. We'll go to the network load balancers. To create a load balancer, select network load balancers. Over here we can see that it is for ultra high performance, the TLS offloading at scale. I'll create a network load balancer. My name will be network load balancer for purchase, for example. The scheme and the IP address type are going to be the same. I'm going to select all the availability zones just to make sure that none of my applications get crashed due to an availability zone and the user doesn't get to see the application loaded on the website. In the next step, I have to make sure that the listener in the TCP protocol has the TCP protocol with port 80, and I will have to select the target group. So now see, we can see that there are no target groups that are visible. So we'll have to go back and check if there are any problems over here. We'll go to the EC2 dashboard, go to target groups and check if this is properly running or not. We have both the instances over here. I think the protocol version over here has to be changed. Let's see. I just clicked refresh over here, but I still can't get any target group. Might as well just click on create a target group. The instances TCP. Okay, the protocol has to be changed. Target group, network load balancer, TG. I'll continue. Select both of my instances, include as pending below, and create a target group. This is my new target group that I've created, the TG and the protocol. See, I told you the protocol has to be different. Now again, we'll go to the load balancers, refresh it. It's taking a little time to get refreshed. See, now we have the network load balancer target group with the TCP protocol. Here is the summary. I will create the load balancer. I will go to view the load balancers, copy the DNS name, go to a fresh tab, paste the URL, and we can see that it's not working. Oh, it's not working because it's still in the provisioning state. You will have to wait for some time for it to be in the active state. After waiting for a few minutes, it took me around 5 to 6 minutes for this state of the load balancer to be active. Now, as it was showing, it was not being able to load. Now it's automatically loading, and let's see if the page can be loaded and we can get the instances on my load balancer. I've just refreshed it once again. See, the load balancer is working and the second instance has been loaded. Whenever I refresh, sometimes the instances get changed, sometimes the instances don't get changed. See, I clicked it 2 times, the instance did not get changed again. But after some time, if I wait, say for 5-10 seconds, according to the timeout that is given in the load balancer, the instance sometimes change according to that. See, now it got changed. We can also apply stickiness to these instances. Say, for example, while creating the load balancers, we can activate the stickiness. In stickiness, what happens is until and unless an instance doesn't fail or the health check doesn't fail, for any particular instance which has already been loaded will stick to the load balancer until and unless there's anything faulty that's going on. Now over here, since we are using the TCP protocol, you must be wondering, or you should wonder, why the individual instances are still working if I have assigned them via the TCP protocol to the network load balancer. So that is because one of the ports in the security group in the instances allows any user with the IP address access to access the application. So when we go to the security settings of this instance, we can see that the port range is 0 to 65,000. Basically, all ports are being given access to come to the application. So now what we can do is we can change this port over here. Security, change security groups. So when I change the security group, over here I can see right now I'm not able to find the option to change the security group over here, but in the instance when I have all the ports, then any user can access the instance individually, but the only catch over here is that it is also allowing port 80. Port 80 is a universal port and the HTTP port which can be accessed by any user on the internet. So if I exclude the port 80 from here, say for example, if I give 0 to 79 or say any other port, any other range or any other port than 80, this individual instance won't be running, but both instances will be active on the network load balancer, that is for sure. And that's it for now. I have explained all the three, how to create all the three load balancers. And if there's any doubt, you can always comment down below to ask any questions if you are stuck somewhere. And just to make sure that don't go out with the UI of the website as it's ever changing, and maybe you could find something today, it won't be there tomorrow. Just make sure you understand the concepts and do it on your own, and you will understand how well this load balancers work.